So welcome everybody today to our virtual event site visit. So instead of doing a venue, we're actually talking about the hybrid and remote content that we can add to virtual events, and also grasping a little bit about the platforms that we have seen and tested in the past 6 months. And also we would like to show some exciting games that we're helping clients to book. And this is something that is quite new to us. So just before we go ahead with that one, I'll just introduce myself first of all. I'm Anna Junnila, and I'm the area VP of HelmsBriscoe for Baltics and Scandinavia, and also chair of MPI World Education Congress, the Event Proposal Review Committee. So that's a long, long title. And then I have Sheila Riikonen here from HelmsBriscoe. She's the global accounts manager and also takes care of lots of events all over the world, including hybrid events. So welcome, Sheila.
Hi, everyone. It's so nice to have you here today on a snowy Tuesday, January 26th, 2021 in Finland. Thank you so much for coming also for our DMCs and being planners and event organizers. I have just happily placed a booking for request proposal for November and October of 2021. And so I'm pretty excited how I can present my selected venues to my clients globally. And it's so timely that we have decided to show you today benchmarking virtual platforms with Anna Junnila. Welcome.
Yes, welcome everybody. It's really exciting times. We are really adapting to new digital solutions, and with Visualizer, we have been showcasing venues globally, doing 360 and panoramic presentations, which allow us to also really pinpoint any kind of requirements that we have for the venues and shortlist them effectively as we are working from home, from the office, home office, I mean, remotely. And that's really a big difference to how things were, over a year ago, when we used to travel, flying every week, checking out maybe 4 properties a day in some occasions. But now we are also really adapting to the situation by promoting the virtual site visit and virtual event platforms. And we are building actually this platform on Visualizer. But first of all, before we have it, we're going to just showcase a game that is one of the favorites. I will actually attend an event today at 5 o'clock to take part of this specific event. So it's a client event, and let's just see the video, how it looks at the moment, what that game's going to be like. It's called La Hacienda. This is a murder mystery game, and everybody's able to book this for their virtual events. So there we are. It's an example of these kind of virtual games that are bookable also via our team, and we're going to be really trying all types of different games before we get out of the real life again. So it's good to use imagination. But besides doing all these virtual games, we are also attending virtual events. And Sheila, you've had quite a busy end of the year, 2020, also with these expos that have been virtually taking place.
I think we are kind of like early adopters, Sana. I remember we started visualizer visits already in February. And at that time, people were really wondering what to do during the lockdown. And after that, I've attended local ones like the Nordics Aviapolis and then the IBTM, IMEX virtual. And then I went to Korea for their MICE Expo. And I've attended, of course, on a daily basis, webinars on learning development. So there are a lot of varieties out there of webinar sessions. But of course, like everyone else, we have to be very choosy and careful with selecting what is actually useful for us at these times.
Definitely, and we are showcasing some of the solutions here. So we are impartial, so you can also ask us about any other platform. We tried quite a few. Some are better than the others. I mean, they also have specific usage, depending on what kind of events. And this one actually, Brella, is used a lot with seminars and associations when they are creating, for example, the end of the year meetings, boardroom meetings, strategic meetings. So let's just look at a little bit of how that looks like. So I'm just showcasing snippets of demos. We're not going too much into details, but you see just a little bit of the tools that we're using at the moment as well.
Brella is the world's leading event platform for virtual, hybrid, and physical events. It brings all your participants together for real, relevant connections and a powerful event experience. Thousands of event organizers from leading companies around the world trust Brella to host their events worldwide, no matter where their attendees are. One click of a link and your attendees are in your virtual venue. Brella offers everything you need to host an incredible virtual or hybrid event. From private one-to-one meeting rooms for attendees to multiple and simultaneous live stream hosting and even digital marketplace opportunities for sponsors. Brella connects your participants in one central location from anywhere in the world. And with Brella, your networking is solved. Our matchmaking algorithm, powered by artificial intelligence, makes finding the right person easy and booking a meeting even easier. All your participants can benefit and join in, including your sponsors. And your sponsors get much more than a list of the most valuable people to meet. Each of your sponsors also gain powerful lead capture opportunities in their virtual booths. When you combine that with native promotion, as well as detailed metrics, you'll wow your sponsors with provable, positive ROI. Speaking of ROI, you'll find all your event data here in the Event Admin panel. Here you
Oh, so that's a lot of info. So not to really exhaust you to go through all the information that's available. We're just showing, again, one of the tools. This is in Scandinavia, actually picking up a lot faster than many other platforms. And I attended, for example, the Economists Association meeting where we were setting up the 2021 budget and so forth. And we had the basic version of this Brella platform in use there. And also Liveto is another one that provides a very kind of basic plus then upgrade options. And we really noticed that, these are becoming very sophisticated ways of organizing hybrid meetings, because we're still booking those venues, especially with Visualizer. However, now we're combining the other technology to make it more of a 360 experience as well. Because Zoom is not sophisticated enough to carry on these type of events where you need matchmaking and really, for example, polling is okay, but statistics kind of lag behind. So that's why we have taken these other tools in use as well. And so it's nice to share some of the know-how. So what was your favorite event, Sheila, that you attended in terms of technology that they used?
I have to remember, Anna. Yeah, I think that IMEX America was really cool, and they invested a lot on that technology solution. It was very graphic, colorful, and lively. And then, of course, because we are from the Nordics, it has been easy for us to adopt because we are quite remote in the northern part of Europe, and digital education has been one of the most highly invested technology solutions we had developed here. And of course, we have a lot of good news even during the pandemic. One of our local Amazon to be type of company.
With HopIn, you can
Oh,
create
sorry, I'm
live
sorry.
online events that
That was an accident.
That's all right. It's been awarded, like €500 million of
Yes.
investment, and mainly because the pandemic has created a lot of solutions that are applicable right now to our daily life, and we have to be, of course, worried that we will progress towards COVID-free reality. But at the same time, we have to develop our digital marketing expertise and use the solutions we have available in our hands at the moment.
Well, that's right. So IBTM and IMEX, I think I would answer as well, were really well executed. However, there's been a little bit of, I would say, criticism on the content, because you would see that people, they were really investing on studios, and studios are a really expensive way of, organizing a virtual event. Whereas actually, I mean, what I've been looking at, it's 3,000 to 4,000 euros for a studio use per day. And actually you get these platforms for less than that. And people can tune in also from their homes. So, and
I get the quotation for €40,000 on a particular event date, meaning like a series of event, perhaps in a 3-day.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's now you're talking about, I was talking about the minimum rates.
Yeah.
And here you get for 1,500 onwards. So, I mean, you're getting multiple locations, where a studio is one location where you are then having to bring the speakers. So there's a little bit of difference there, how you're using it. And quite often on the virtual platform, you still need staging if you do the hybrid model. So you're paying for the venue with the stage and paying for the, the platform that you're using online. So in this way, it's quite crucial to shop around, to find also those quite basic models that they allow you to gather the registrant data before the event and then communicate after the event. Like, we like to also plug it in with Salesforce or all the other tools that we can use in order to market after the event as well. And then we don't have to manually put them into a CRM at this, the database after that. So these are all these details that we didn't have to deal with before COVID. I mean, it was a special group of people who were, already using this, and that was great. But I think now it's general knowledge. This is actually a requirement from pretty much all event organizers to know virtual platforms for hybrid model.
I agree, Anna. I think that as we have here a couple of DMCs in our audience today, I think we would love to hear from you and your experiences around Europe. We have had a publication from Bloomberg saying that, Sweden, Norway, and Finland are actually the least hit right now with COVID. And I think information sharing is very vital at the moment. And how do we actually communicate effectively to our clients, to our networks, and to our friends? And so a combination of voice, sound, and images, as well as the actual, representation of what we are trying to productize as a service is really crucial at the moment. So if we are still selling to our clients properties and venues, it's important that they see them in, for example, a 360-degree navigation platform.
I agree. And like we saw on the first video, we were using 360 images to create a game which is more immersive and augmented experience than just having a, like a computer game. In some ways has become an event platform for us as well. So we are combining industries that we didn't use before. And I completely agree with you that people are now also really searching for those safer regions for their hybrid meetings. And they tend to be areas where you have a lot of nature and outdoors areas, or, large outdoor spaces, of course, help with this one. So, but at the same time, we're asking from the technology point of view that they can then facilitate the hybrid, because we have less attendees. So our revenue models are really heavily dependent on how many online attendees we can actually attract. So talking about the hybrid model, the World Economic Congress as well, I mean the MBI event, sorry, that's going to be this summer, and they're really hoping to do a hybrid model, for USA. Obviously July is quite soon, so let's see how that goes. And that's why there is this backup plan that in case the event doesn't go ahead, on a live version as well, then all these attendees will be attending via the platform on a virtual side of the event. So it also gives this flexibility of, as we're trying to go ahead with the live event, that we already have the system, working, and the platform there to accommodate if it becomes 100% virtual event. And this one is actually, which I'm going to show now, HopIn. This is one of, I would say, the most favorite. I mean, it has gained a lot of positive feedback. It still has weaknesses, but large organizations are quite happy using the HopIn as well. So this is, again, another demo video.
That are interactive and personal. Whether you're hosting a live training workshop, bringing your company's remote team together, or launching a full-scale digital conference, it's easy to create an engaging HopIn event for up to hundreds of thousands of people. At a HopIn event, your attendees can network one-on-one, break out into group sessions, watch keynote presentations, send chat messages and polls, and explore interactive expo areas. There's even a private virtual backstage for your speakers. A HopIn event is far more than a webinar. You're not limited to just screen sharing a PowerPoint. You can focus on what truly matters, connecting people. You can make your event your own, charge for tickets or make it free, recruit sponsors, view event analytics, and download your recordings for sharing later. If you already have an in-person event, you can reach an even bigger online audience by live streaming it into a HopIn event too. Our mission is to build better connections for a better world.
So that was exactly for the purpose that we are scaling up our meetings and events. It's not really good news for hotels in the sense of us using smaller, I would say, smaller numbers, less hotel rooms. However, that's the reality, at least until 2022, that a hybrid model is, revenue management point of view, the best way forward with the events.
I think the most crucial one is really to showcase the facilities on those hotels that are still operational. And I would say, based on our discussion with hotels, even during the pandemic, a lot of the agile decision making is appreciated. When you can decide if you're going to show your property right now with a screenshot or a photo that you took yourself from your mobile phone in a 360-degree view. I mean, all of us are equipped with a mobile device that have capability to have a 360-degree view. And of course, photography is really important at the moment. Investing in very good images and photos that could just give the wow effect is really effective.
Oh, definitely. And as you mentioned, it is really important to use those 360s as well, because we can see so much, even in this one. Okay, this one is actually a flat still picture, but as we are doing our virtual site visits instead of live site visits, we are still looking at the same details for 2022 events even. Where's the prompt projector, where's the screen, and etc.
And so I'm just curious, Anna, because of our audience today is largely composed of DMCs and third-party event organizers, how would actually a city like Prague, of which I have a background at the moment today, and we hosted Clarion Congress Prague last week with their sales team who are operational, although some of them are in furlough and they are still reopening in autumn, hopefully already in Q2 as well. How would we encourage destinations or convention bureaus, because we have already visualized our visits for a number of properties in a destination like Prague. We have hosted happily the Hilton Prague and Hilton Old Town Prague and Vienna House hotels. There are 3 of them located right there in the center of Prague. So we have already a number of hotels, possibly 12 hotels that are in one city. How does a DMC or a convention bureau harness the opportunities that we have right now at the moment, that we could see properties and venues in 360-degree view?
So all these virtual site visits are free to use. So we have a library of virtual site visits that we can share, and DMCs are able to provide their clients virtual site visits, maybe just doing one-on-one webinars, or you can also organize a larger online event, and there is no charge unless there is tailoring. So if you have a specific property in mind that you would like to present, which is not in our portfolio. I mean, you mentioned Prague and Vienna as well, and actually in Split, you know, we have a few properties. So London, Berlin, Munich, Amsterdam. I mean, we have several properties in all over Scandinavia as well, actually in Mexico. So if the property is not amongst these, then it would take a couple hours to a couple days to build that virtual site visit, a 360 view. And again, that can be used at those webinars. Alternatively, we can collaborate. So if the DMC or the event agency doesn't have experience of organizing virtual site visits, we can always come and help with that one and really showcase the logistics, because there's a certain walkthrough logistics that we use. You know, just I didn't actually do that on this. You know, I just jumped into the tools that we are using. This is also a visualizer tool. However, we usually start from the location and then going into the checking and talking about the venue and hotels the same way as we would in a live site visit. So we go into the rooms, we do the full site visits in each area of the hotel. And actually we then share these with the clients so they can use the link we can see here. So even if I'm zooming this, the link here changes on the left. So you can see how the HTML coding changes. So whichever image I'm now fixing in, I can then share this also on the event website or in the DMC website if there is a specific, I would say, happening or online event and you want to focus on certain hotel and promote it in that way. I mean, there are museums and theaters as well that have virtual site visits, so you can use these in a kind of more imaginative way instead of PowerPoint. Because I mean, we still have all the information in here, floor plans, you know, from floor plans here, we can just jump directly into the image. So that's the beauty. Instead of scrolling down a PowerPoint, this is a bit more sophisticated way of presenting venues for clients. So as I mentioned, it is free. If we are organizing joint webinar, then there is a small cost for us as well. And that's just so that we can help with the marketing, bringing tailored property, add images that you want to have in there. And what we do is we actually reach about 59,000 event professionals with our marketing. So we are using Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and also emails and SEO, so search engine optimization on the websites, Google Studio. So the digital marketing part is something that we have really invested in during the COVID.
I actually have a case in point to showcase. We're using your what you just discussed, Anna, because last week we hosted happily our Hilton Prague sales executives rather, not last week, but the previous week. And last week we had the Clarion Congress brag, who says that the only tool they really, really appreciate at this time would be Visualizer Visit. And that's such a cool thing to say, because we're right here helping them, assist them reach the target audience that they want to do. So I have an event in Germany that I want as many attendees as possible to book with flexible cancellation policies in October 2021. I heard maybe the Oktoberfest is maybe happening or not happening. And this is from reliable sources. At the same time, my clients still want to be meeting with their local chamber association. So what I'm going to do is that we're going to do a visualizer visit and showcasing to the association members how safe it can be and where should they be seated, what type of hotels they have. And the images or the link that I want to show would be embedded right in their intranet. So whenever they want to see and discuss with their family how safe it can be for them to go to Germany at that time in October 2021, and definitely it's available for them. And this is something that I would like to book with them as soon as we have our host hotel ready for the presentation.
Well, I mean, these are nice plans and clients do appreciate that as well. We did a couple tech events before COVID happened, where we were effectively using these links for promotion. So, you know, again, you choose, for example, this is the main event space. So then we go into taking that URL, and we can place it on the website and also in any marketing emails that we are sending for the attendees, so they can already view the spaces, they can view the rooms, and that way maybe just, you know, get a bit more familiar with where they're going. Because you're right about the fact that people are a bit more careful about committing to any of those, you know, live events as well. So it does help to provide them with very detailed information, and also the hygiene details that you mentioned, you know, are really, really crucial at the moment. We have here the hygiene concept. So you're able to view both the video and then also the actual, you know, details here. And we can change the language to Chinese, to German. I'll just show you German immediately as we are talking. So when we are sending these to attendees on an email or on the website of the event, they can themselves also change the language, you know, accordingly here. So that helps as well.
That's right. I mean, one hotel in Helsinki, it's actually the Congress Hotel Holiday Inn, has both their website and a button on their main page that says link to 360-degree view. And that is how actually Visualizer can really work hand in hand with your website. Because, you know, a lot of people ask, what's the difference between Visualizer and your website? And obviously, Anna, you have the answer.
Oh, yes. So now I think the biggest difference is that we have multiple locations that they have all the information, you know, in one place, in a way that you don't have to actually scroll down, you know, the website in the same way. This is something that can be immediately updated, so it's instantly everywhere. Whereas the website, you know, you usually have to go to the IT team, you know, and it does take a little bit longer to tailor it for the event itself. Whereas here we can just build it for the event's purpose. So you can also leave information out from here. I mean, of course, you know, you can use website for the same reason. I mean, these are two different tools. I don't think, you know, any website has as comprehensive meeting planners tools available as the Visualizer has. So, I mean, it's basically more compliant for our purposes. Yeah, I mean, one of the things is that website is also heavier to build, and more, you know, there's more usage for website in terms of leisure, for what are other, you know, segments we have, staycationing, but this one you can tailor according to whatever segment you're taking out of that. So it's a big difference.
And
I mean,
actually
I've seen capacity charge,
yeah.
but I haven't seen, sorry, active capacity charge on the third-party websites can also use this one. You can also add it to website and also add it to booking.com or C event. So it's slightly different in that sense, usage sense.
What I really appreciate, and before we forget, is the mobile app for Visualizer, as well as the capacity to actually be in offline mode. So, I am a meeting planner who actually chats to the person sitting next to me in the airplane or in the bus or in events. And therefore, if I want to show something really cool, a venue or a property that I really should recommend, I go to my phone and show it, and Visualizer makes it easy for me, even though there is no Wi-Fi. Like if I'm some remote location in Vietnam or the Philippines, I'm able to show because the Visualizer visit is downloadable to my phone. And whether if I'm in the jungle or the middle of the sea, I can still show Visualizer, and perhaps I can make a booking during that time.
Well, that's a really big difference as well. But I do find that, none of those colleagues that we have really used websites at IBTM or IMEX either. So they usually use PowerPoint because it is a specific presentation about that topic. So I think that would be the closest to Visualizer, is something like a presentation tool, because that's what it is. And as you said, it sits on your hand device or on your computer. Just so that, because we are just doing a really short session today, highlighting what kind of tools and what kind of events we are doing. There's one, again, and not, I would say, exciting game that we can all enjoy and book, that has now been used about 20,000 times in the past 2 months. So these are some of the most popular games in the world. So if you're looking for something for your portfolio to sell onwards also for the clients, here is one that clients truly like to book. So let's see the video shortly. I might not show the whole thing. So yeah, so these are the things we're dealing with. But one more thing I do have to say, wasn't it exciting when we had that allseated.com event with HelmsBriscoe, the end of the year party? And there was a digital dance floor with a real DJ.
Yes, indeed. I mean, we have approved suppliers, of course, with HelmsBriscoe that we constantly promote, and everything was well done. I appreciate it. I talked to my colleague in Australia that I haven't met for 9 months, because I went to Australia already February 2020 for the AIM, which was unfortunately canceled this time and moved to online. So indeed, there is just that good feeling that to see our people again, interact with them, like approach them in a avatar-like mode. And really, there are a variety of ways that you can keep up on your relationship building during these times.
Definitely. So we keep on exploring remotely and keeping our minds open. That's one of the key takeaways, I think, from last year, is just not to say no to, things that are unfamiliar, because we are really learning and also sharing the information with our network and wanting to test, any kind of innovation that is coming our way, just to make sure that we keep up with the development and we have a nice portfolio to provide to our clients. And I mean, I have to say, I was surprised about how much I enjoyed these online games and online events, because I was really skeptical about, okay, I've been on a webinar in a meeting, like, half the day with Teams, and then going to a virtual event. Is it going to give me energy? Well, it did. When it's well executed, we have tested also badly executed ones. It really does, make you enjoy that time together with people. This is a temporary solution, that it's 100% virtual at the moment. But luckily, we are still making the most out of the situation.
I think things will never be the same again. And I'm sorry that that's a really blanket statement. But for me, I discovered Visualizer Visit very recently. And I must say that this would be a tool that I will be using as long as I work in the mice industry.
I agree. Now we are better equipped. So thank you so much, Sheila, for attending, and for all the attendees on Facebook and also through Zoom webinar. Hope you also join us on Thursday. We will be exploring more tools and more visualizers, and we are inviting co-hosts from the key cities and resorts from all over the world. So you are able to then also travel with us virtually to any location that you want. You can also send us your favorite locations that you would like to see. Thank you so much, and have a really good day.
Hyvää päivää. Moi.
Bye 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 bye.